G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to DCS World 2.5 with Mags and Task Force Sea Dragon. Today it's time for Mission 2 of the Sea Dragon campaign, once again strapping into the pit of the Sukhoi SU-33, and today we have a target. So the situation is as follows. Georgian forces are continuing to move into the Abkhazia and South Ossetia region with the consent of NATO. And while Russian forces are making a lot of noise against this publicly, they are also gathering their own forces in the region as well. To complicate matters, NATO are not just standing by, but are in fact moving their own assets into the region with confirmed transport and supply convoys, along with possible NATO aircraft, including fighters, moving into air bases in eastern Georgia. However, at this time, none of these assets have revealed themselves within the area of operations of Task Force Sea Dragon. Georgian forces are very much aware of Sea Dragon's presence off the coast, however, and are currently making efforts to gather intelligence on the task force and its makeup. Reconnaissance flights have been the primary method of gathering this intelligence, with a number of detected recon flights moving up and down the coast over the course of the day. One of these flights, an Antonov AN-26B, has been detected orbiting between Poti and Kubaleti. So the mission objective is to remove the surveillance of Task Force Sea Dragon, with our target being the Antonov AN-26B. Now the aircraft patrols up and down the coast, but its exact location is not known, so waypoints have been set at both Poti and Kubaleti, and we'll have to find it ourselves. The catch is we also have to stay as high as possible, as Georgian forces have moved a number of mobile anti-aircraft defences, along with man-portable air defence missile teams, into the areas around the flight path. As soon as the Antonov is down, we're to disengage from the area and break for the task force. So, the mission here is pretty straightforward. Follow the waypoints, keep an eye on the radar, and locate the Antonov. We know the Antonov is going to be somewhere between Poti and Kubaleti, and at the same time we have to maintain around a 7-kilometre altitude, or as close to, for as long as possible, to avoid any of the short-range air defence missile systems or anti-aircraft systems that have been deployed around the cities and potentially between the cities down the coastline. At this point, there's no indication that there is hostile fighters in the area, however it is also always worth keeping an eye out, as you never know what may pop up. Once we've actually destroyed the Antonov, we just have to get back to the carrier. We do not have to complete the patrol, we do not have to go through the rest of the waypoints. We can just abort off and head straight for landing. So our loadout for this particular mission is 4 R-73 infrared guided missiles, 2 R-27R semi-active radar-guided missiles, and 6 R-27ERs, which are semi-active radar-guided missiles much like the R-27R but with an extended range. With the ER missiles, if we can confirm the target, we would be able to engage at outwards of around 60 kilometres. However, we do have to make sure that what we're hitting is the Antonov, so I'm going to be doing this one from close range. Not to mention the fact that I really like heaters. Heaters are a hell of a lot more fun, so we're going to be getting into short range with the R-73s for this particular mission. Now the R-73 is one of those missiles that give the Soviets their fearsome reputation of being capable in close range dogfighting situations, even with missiles. The R-73 is capable of locking and tracking a target at up to 40 degrees off the missile's centerline, and it is impressively manoeuvrable. However, it is relatively slow in comparison to other missiles you'll find, with a maximum speed of only Mach 2.5. However, the warhead itself at 7.5 kilograms is absolutely lethal, and this missile is one of the most common missiles you'll find amongst Soviet fighters. So at this point we've been in the air for about 10 minutes and we are now approaching the final waypoint before we turn left and begin our hunt down the coastline. As such, I am getting the radar ready to be fired up. The radar has been cold the whole way coming in. This has been just to keep ourselves a little bit more difficult to detect on approach. While it is highly likely that Georgian forces will be fully aware of our coming in, it's best not to set off a flare like turning on the radar systems, giving them plenty of time to get a lock on us until we're actually in our engagement area and beginning to actively hunt for hostile aircraft. That said, I have been keeping an eye on the skies up here, looking for contrails off any other aircraft, but it's been skies clear the whole way in, so we're looking good so far. That said, I have not managed to spot the Antonov at this point, and we are just about at the checkpoint. So, just about at the turning point, and we are now radar on, and I am getting a contact off to our left. We're actually getting a couple of contacts at this point. I can't see either of these contacts visually, but it's highly likely that one of these aircraft is the Antonov. Now, I do need to watch my shots in here. While this is an active conflict zone, it has only just become one, so it is highly likely that there could be civil air traffic still operating in the area, and the last thing you want to do is take down the wrong target. So visually identify the target first, and then engage. So, having just reached our turning point and completed our turn, we are now on the transition between the waypoints at Potty and Kubaleti. So, our target is right in front of us somewhere. We just need to find it. So, keeping an eye on both the radar for a little bit of an updated information and our potential targets, and an eye out the window to see exactly what's going on, which is actually quite fantastic considering I only have one working eye. I actually managed to locate the target. It's about 1,000 to 2,000 meters below us, and it's heading in the opposite direction down the coast. So, with the target located, it's time to roll in. Now, we are going to be dropping altitude here, so I do not want to hang around for too long. This is going to drop us potentially within range of the anti-aircraft defences that have been moved into the area, and as we are very close to one of the cities that is listed in our briefing, it's likely got a very high concentration of these anti-aircraft defences, so we want to take out the target as fast as possible. So, target locked up, and missile away. And despite the countermeasures, the missile still lands home. So, confirmed destruction of Antonov 26B. Looks like we have 2 shoots in the air and the target is unrecoverable. So, that's it. She is out of there. So at this point I'm just continuing the bank that I already started with the dive to bring ourselves back around towards the carrier, and I'm just waiting for confirmation as I leave the area that the mission target has been successfully taken out. Now, I'm still keeping an eye on the radar while I'm completing this bank, and we do have 2 targets still popping up on the radar. One seems to be moving at a reasonable pace, but we've got no information on that. The other one seems almost stationary, or moving very slowly on the radar. I'm guessing the slow-moving target is a helicopter operating somewhere in the area. Georgian forces are known to operate Hueys, so it's potentially a Huey flying through the area, and I'm guessing the other one is in fact civil aviation, passing through. But it doesn't matter, we've received our confirmation of mission completion, so let's go home. And with that we come to the carrier landing, and so this is the point where I am going to sign off. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed Mission 2. Mission 3 will be up in the very near future. As always, remember to check the video description down below for links to my social media where I regularly post screenshots out of whatever I'm flying in DCS 2.5 along with a lot of other aviation content. You'll also find links to my Twitch where I regularly stream, and of course my Patreon for anybody who would like to support the channel. And of course, as always, remember to click that like button, subscribe and share if you would like to see more, and until next time, fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.